I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 106 of the SZN Podcast. As always, I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And guys, please make sure you head over to our Instagram page, which is SZN Podcast, or Twitter, which is SZN Pod. There's a link in the bio on both those platforms there, and that link will take you to where we are situated at streaming wise. So if you like your audio, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the usual places. If you like visuals, we've got the YouTube channel up and running as well, and we tend to upload our visuals about 2 days after the audio drop. So yeah, guys, make sure you do that, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But first of all, bro, you good? Ready to talk some boxing?
Yeah, let's get into it, bro.
Let's get straight into it. Should we start our home team as we normally do?
Okay.
There was a card on Saturday, a boxer card, Sky Sports. We talked about this last episode. So this is the Liam Smith versus Hassan Mwakinyo fight card. I think we said that our interest was really catered to, I guess, one of the undercard fights, which was Chief Support, I think, the Azeez versus Shakan Pitters. For Dan Azeez's light heavy. No. He's got the British light heavyweight title belt, right?
Yeah.
I think the Commonwealth belt was also up for grabs as well, I think. But yeah, Flowz, did you catch that fight first of all?
I did. I did.
Cool. So yeah, what were your thoughts on it? Dan Azeez has come away with a UD win. Yeah, what are your thoughts on it first of all?
Like we said, good fight.
Yeah.
Very good fight. Exciting. We know what Dan Azeez likes to do. Come forward, make it rough and ugly. And we know Shakan obliges to that, almost against his attributes or such, but he's happy to engage in that type of fight. So it was exciting from start to finish. High level fight, good British dust up, especially when it's for the British belt. Those fights always seem entertaining, man. So yeah, I enjoyed it. What do you make of it?
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it very much actually. I thought it was pretty exciting actually when it kicked off. I kind of feel for Shakan Pitters, man. I really do, because I'm watching this fight, I'm taking in this fight, and to me, I'm seeing from a technical perspective, and just from a boxing standpoint, I really like what he does and what he brings.
Yeah, and
I was actually preferring his work just from a boxing standpoint. What he was doing, the shots he was picking, to me were great shots, placed well, just good fundamentals.
Yeah,
and I feel for him because he lost this fight pure in the fact that Dan Azeez is so relentless. Like, he just doesn't stop. Dan Azeez does not stop. And he sort of epitomizes the whole come forward, take 2 to land 4 kind of mentality. And yeah, to me, I'm just seeing Shakan Pitters in portions of that fight get overwhelmed almost, just based on the activity that Dan Azeez brought. And that's why I'm saying I feel for him, because to me, he boxed really well and he boxes very, very well. And it's just such a shame that, there were parts where he was getting roughed up in there because of the fact that Dan Azeez is just so relentless. And credit to Azeez, because like you said, we know what he brings. Azeez brings the same thing every time. Constant pressure, can keep coming forward, and it's just going to be on you like a rash. I think the first one was pretty cagey, Flowz, but it kind of kicked off in the second round, because that's when I've seen Pitters, and I actually gave Pitters the second round. I thought Pitters was picking the better shots. We talked about how Pitters is happy to oblige and have a dust up as well, but he was actually boxing to what you thought he would box to in terms of his size, obviously being 6'6", behind the jab at range, and he was trying to pick off Dan Azeez every time Dan Azeez came in. And if you notice, Flowz, the uppercut from Pitters was an early weapon for him. He caught him a couple of times with that. But after that second round, where I thought it was a good Pitters round, Dan Azeez, the motor just kicked in. And he started to do his whole rough and tumble, come forward, just kind of overwhelm you with constant pressure. And there were portions in that, I guess the middle portions, where it looked like Peters was just going to get overwhelmed, really, and he was just getting roughed up on the inside, which suits, obviously, the inside game suits Dan Azeez a lot more. And yeah, it was a shame. But even he was competitive throughout. But yeah, I guess I was just thinking to myself, wow, Peters is a really good boxer, and I'm liking his work, liking his shots here, but that activity from Dan Azeez is just too much to overcome. And he's gonna be tough to beat. I came away from that fight like Azeez is gonna be very, very tough to beat because he just keeps coming. He just keeps coming in. Yeah.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying, because early on, Shakan was using the jab, was moving, boxing and moving, firing out the jab, which is what you want to see. I feel like his footwork lets him down in terms of he's not the best at boxing and moving as such, getting out of danger with his footwork. But early rounds I gave to him. I think the first 3 rounds I had him ahead, Shakan. Yeah. Then the middle portions, like you say, that's when Dan Azeez kind of was forcing his way on the inside, roughing him up, getting to work. And that's where I think Shakan's footwork was letting him down. I think from like maybe the 9th and 10th rounds,
get the second win.
We started to see him control the distance a bit better. So he'd jab and grab almost, which was what he should have been doing in the middle. If your footwork can't get you out of danger, jab and then tie him up and just don't let him get. Because sometimes he'd be standing there and trading with him on the inside in the middle rounds, and he'd be losing those exchanges. Yeah, but I think around the 9th, 10th round, he started to think, okay, maybe fatigue played a factor, but he would be tying him up on the inside rather than exchanging with him. And I think I gave him a few more rounds there. So it was a close fight to me, but I think in terms of the story of the fight, that Azeez was taking it, and he won it for me. I don't think there's any too much controversy in that sense.
Yeah, I think the only controversy flaws, if it was controversial at all, I guess some people might have felt that the cards might have been a bit wide. The scoring, definitely. I agreed it was wide. But I had Azeez the winner. I think for me, another thing as well, I think this is something that's sort of belied Shakan throughout his entire career, in the sense that, again, he was picking great shots and landing real clean looks on Azeez. But it's his lack of power, Flowz. It really is his lack of power. He doesn't hit hard compared to the other light heavies. And especially when you've got someone like Azeez that is a pressure fighter, and he comes forward a lot, and he's happy to take a couple. We've said it many times in this pod before. What are the best ways to deter a pressure fighter? You've either got to tag them really hard to stop them from, make them think twice about coming in. Exactly. And Peters was catching him cleanly, but Azeez was just walking through, happy to take it. Or you've got to, I guess, try and, throw in the same amount of volume as they were, as they are, sort of, maybe, as something to deter them, maybe. And I think, as you mentioned, in the 9th round, that's when sort of Peters might have got a second win. I think he sort of had a gene up from his trainer. Probably told him, he's letting that round slip away here, etc. They got into him a little bit. And from that 9th, 10th, I remember him actually upping his volume, because he's not really a big volume puncher, Peters. He doesn't throw that much, especially compared to someone like Azeez who throws a lot. So in the 9th, 10th, he had a lot of success because he was actually letting his hands go. Not just obviously catching them with 1-2 good counter shots, happy to follow up and throw his hands as well, which also made for a great fight, obviously. But it's just a shame that obviously if Peters had power, boy, that could have been a different fight, because he caught Azeez cleanly quite a few times, but Azeez was just tanking through him each time, man. And again, it's a big shame, because I said I like Peters a lot, and for someone that's 6'6", you can say he's a matchup problem. His dimensions aren't light heavy dimensions. Donnie's tall and rangy, and if he had power to his game, boy, he would be scary. But that's where the game goes, isn't it, Flowz?
Yeah, I think the power thing was definitely telling. I think once Dan Azeez realized that but his power ain't doing much. Yeah, I don't need to be cautious about going in. I'm just gonna fly in, and that's what he was doing. I tell you what did annoy me was the commentary, because I watched the fight twice. I watched, well, not fully. I watched it in portions. Yeah. And first time I had the Sky commentary on, second time I had it on mute. Yeah. And it was a much better fight to watch when it was on mute, because it seemed more balanced. The commentators were moving like Shakan won 2 rounds.
Yeah, they did actually. Yeah.
They said Dan Azeez has got from the 7th round. They said, yeah, this is the wrap. He's clear ahead.
Yeah.
For the 7th round, I had it like damn near even.
It was competitive. Yeah.
So yeah, commentary and obviously
Well,
Dan
judges
Azeez
saw it that way, I guess. So yeah.
but Dan Azeez is the home fighter in this case. Shaka was with Boxer. I'm not sure if he still is.
I don't know. Is he still being managed by Dylan White?
Yeah, he is. Because Dylan White was there.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, Dan Azeez was, you can tell, was their golden boy in that sense.
Yeah.
They're both old. They're both young.
Yeah. Shakan was pissed.
He thought he won.
I think he thought he won.
Yeah.
And I watched his interview afterwards. He said it was sort of the scorecards were a joke. He wants to run it back. Yeah, as I said, I thought the scorecards were wide, but I did have Azeez as the correct victor. So yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, it's just a shame when you see someone that's clearly very talented, very skilled boxer wise, but just sort of let down by the fact that maybe they don't really have the power or just that intensity. Like Azeez is intense. That's the best way to describe him, really, man. He's mad intense. And he may not look the best. He may look a bit crude at times, etc. But like I said, he's very doggy. He's going to be very difficult to beat, I think, because of just how intense he is.
It's one of them ones. He's entertaining to watch. Always has been. And I guess, well, we on this pod, we've been big fans of him for a while, for a long time now, and we've always put his name in the mix. Before, I think now his name's in the mix.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Now his name's in the mix, but before, when people were ignoring him and saying no one was saying his name, he's kind of worked his way to put his name in the mix.
Strong-armed his way.
yeah. And he's done it the old-fashioned way, English title, British title.
Yeah.
So he's doing it the old-fashioned way. And yeah, he's now he's pretty much in the mix. And we always do this after an Azeez fight or Shaka fight. Who do we want to see them in the next?
Same sort of thing. So another domestic wide rival. It's got for me.
Yeah.
Craig Richards is coming off a loss. He might want to, he might be interested in, throw himself back in there. And yeah, I'm happy to see Craig Richards and Azeez. Who else? I don't know.
Whitaker was in the crowd.
You see what he was doing, the sleeping thing. He was, Unfortunately, that's far off because Ben Whitaker's only just started his professional career, so that's not something that is going to happen anytime soon. I don't think. Yeah,
not anytime. But Ben Whitaker can be accelerated. He's got the talent to be accelerated.
He's had an extensive amateur background, hasn't he? So
yeah, and he's got the talent level, and he's got the confidence as well. But I think they'll take their time with him. To a degree, I think.
Yeah. Craig Richards, give me that.
I like that.
Give me that. I want to see that next for Dan Azeez. If that can be done, happy days. I thought Craig will happily take that fight as well.
Or Lyndon Arthur.
I feel like Arthur might need just a sort of get back fight because he seems to, obviously the yard loss. He haven't heard of him since then. Maybe get back fight
He's got a fight announced, I think. He's got a date announced. Yeah, okay. Is it Pro Bellum there with? Is it
Pro Bellum, I think. Yeah,
he's got a fight announced, but I don't know if he has an opponent. I can't remember what date it is. But yeah, he'll be back this year. I can't remember the date.
But yeah, shout out to Dan Azeez though. Good win, another good domestic win that he's got there under his belt. And we see what's next for him. But definitely one to look out for.
And Shakan's not done either.
No, he's not.
He'll be back.
Yeah, 100%. Quickly touch upon before we get to the main event. There's also wins for Adam Azeem, who got his customary 1-round KO. The guy he fought though had never been stopped, which is I guess impressive in itself. They dismounted in 1 round, but he wasn't anyone credible. Obviously, it's still early doors for him. So, but he's fun to watch. He's fun to watch.
Adam Azeem and that. It was too easy. They need to. But to be fair, he's only had 6 fights, so I ain't gonna judge him. He only 6 fights. This is. So I ain't gonna praise him to the high heavens. I ain't gonna disregard him.
I give him praise for knocking out an opponent that's never been stopped, but that's it really.
I don't know who that opponent's for because he was happy to go. Do you see what he done?
Yeah.
This guy was on the ground and looked at his corner and shook his head.
First knockdown. Man said no mass.
He said no. He was sitting there and said, nah, I'm done. I was just like, come on, man. You didn't even get hit you that hard. Like your faculties are all there. You're not. You said, I can't be bothered. And same with Fraser Clark.
Fraser Clark, yep, similar sort of thing. Knocked out some soup can. Expected again. It's what is that? His fourth fight or third fight? He hasn't had many fights, so yeah.
That
nothing
was
to
even worse. That one because I don't think Fraser Clark actually landed any punches.
There was some very Flowz. This card was interesting, just to say the least. When it comes to some of these stoppages, obviously we'll talk about the main event in a sec.
Yeah,
but yeah, very interesting stoppages. Let's put it that way. Tasha Jonas, barnstormer fight. She's now a unified champion in her weight class against Patricia Berghult, I think her name is, Swedish fighter. Really good, yeah. See, we know what we know what these women do. we know what they're on. Superb fight from first bell to the end. Tasha had to overcome quite a tough start because this chick, the Swedish chick, she started really well first 2 rounds. She was giving Tasha a lot of problems with her jab and just her ranginess, but Tasha made them adjustments and used her superior speed. I think the speed was telling. The speed really helped her in this fight. Just get in and out kind of thing, and just a real competitive, exciting fight. Deserved win for Tasha. She's fun to watch, man. I really like watching Tasha Jonas, man. She's great to watch.
Yeah, always in good fights. Always turns up. First round I was a bit concerned because I was like, yo, that Swede came to fight, no doubt about it. Yeah. And she was moving, she was boxing, she looks good. And I was like, yo, we might have a upset on our hands because she's bigger. She had like the
size difference was crazy.
And I was slightly concerned from that first round and maybe the second round as well. But yeah, I think Jonas's IQ is underrated as well. I think she does what she needs to do to win because I've seen her box different styles. I've seen her come forward, be aggressive, and I've seen her box and like be switched on and look to counter punch as well because she was counter punching brilliantly that fight as well. So her IQ is very much underrated because I think she made the adjustments that she needed to make and just took over the fight. So yeah, impressive.
Yeah, I feel like she's always in this division. She's always gonna be small compared to because I'm thinking about the last fight against Namus where she won the title. She looked tiny compared to her as well. So she's really going to have to make use of her footwork and speed in this division because these girls all seem to be towering over her. I can't lie. So, but it doesn't deter her anyway. She does her thing. So, yeah, she's very, very good, man. I always knew she had really good boxing IQ. Even in the fights that she lost, to me, she showed good IQ in those fights. And, she made adjustments on the fly, which is, I like to see that from a fighter. So, no, man, great fighter. And I hope she goes on to become undisputed in that division. Seems to be very easy to do in the women's game, so I expect she'll do that. Hopefully,
it'll be a big statement.
Big
statement. But yeah, like you say, because even like the fights where she's with underdogs, not expected to lose badly, she's giving them hell. And that's shout out Jonas. I too hope she's like 38 now as well.
Yeah, she's old. Yeah,
but she's aging like fine wine. The way she's boxing.
Shout out to her.
She's doing her thing.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's talk about the main event. The very, very strange fight, man. Very, very strange fight. Liam Smith versus this Hassan Mwakinyo guy. Bro, they need to investigate Mwakinyo for match fixing immediately. Immediately. The powers that be, the governing bodies, whatever, they need to investigate this man because what I saw, I just couldn't believe it, bro. This is so frustrating as well because this had the makings for a good fight. And I can't lie, Flowz, Smith was getting touched by this guy. This guy was giving Smith hell. The first 2 rounds were the first one cagey, second round not really happened. And then this Mwakinyo guy just sort of exploded into life, I guess, especially in that third round when he started to get his confidence in him and he started to pick great shots and his speed, and he looked like he had the edge of power as well to Liam Smith. So you know what you're going to get with Smith. It's the same sort of stuff. Come forward.
Yeah.
Nothing flashy or anything, just pretty standard, right?
Yeah, one of your favorite fighters.
Liam Smith. don't rate that guy at all. I can't lie, but hey, man. Yeah, but this Mwakinyo guy, obviously, he's an unknown quantity, unknown sort of quantity, right? Because we don't really sort of know much about him massively.
But we have seen him in action.
We've seen him in action.
We know what to expect.
Yeah, and it's funny enough. I think these two know each other very well because I think, like in like amateur days, they sparred and they went camps together, etc. So they're very well aware of each other. Smith was saying, Smith used to say that. Smith said that in sparring, he was a quitter, so he thinks he'll quit during the fight, which is what this guy ended up doing from the looks of things.
Interesting.
But in this third round now, this guy has caught Smith with some good combinations, etc. He's gone to the corner, and Smith sort of pressured him in the corner, and it looked like he slipped and rolled his ankle. So the ref ruled it a slip, timeout, blah blah, just let him sort of check his ankle and whatever. He was sort of rolling his ankle to make sure it was okay. Came back after the ankle roll, went back to work and sort of caught Smith for some good combinations and stuff, and he actually hit Smith after the bell. So obviously Smith was pissed, and he tried to go over to him and stuff. And I'm like, oh, it's warms in, Flowz. It's warming up. It's nice. Like, this guy showing me something. Could be an upset here. Obviously, Smith has started the fourth round angry, tried to come into this guy. This guy is slipping Smith's punches, catching all counter shots, uppercuts. I'm thinking, yo, this Mwakinyo's live, He's looking good. Like, there was a time when I think he actually bust Smith as well. And Smith had to cover up, sort of retreat. And then all this thing happened. Mwakinyo finds himself in the corner, right? Smith's gone over to him.
Yeah.
And Smith has caught him with a shot. And then Mwakinyo is he's gone, he's taken a voluntary knee.
Yeah,
and spat his gumshoe down. You saw that, yeah?
Yeah.
So obviously, because he's taken a knee, the referee's counted him. And he's there saying, no, he's there, shaking his head, almost waving his finger, no. And then the referees, he's then pointing at the gum shield, obviously. So the referees have to stop and, clean the gum shield, pull it back in.
Mm.
So he's come back now, obviously, waved action again. He's caught Smith some more good shots. Found himself in the corner again, bare weird. Yeah. Smith has gone over to him. I think he's thrown a punch or whatever. No, in fact, he didn't even throw a punch. Before Smith even threw the punch, this guy just took another knee. He just went down. And then Smith tried to attack him, and the referee just jumped in and waved the fight off. So strange. I've never seen it. I had no idea what happened. He was there then pointing to the ground or something, complaining. His corner getting angry or whatever. Smith is there pissed off because obviously I guess he's felt he's quit, which is what he said he would do later on in the fight, but not that early. Bro, I don't know if there was a big bet put on him on the fourth, but that looked like a dive to me, man. I can't lie, because like I said, this guy was live, he was active, he was catching Smith with good shots, and then suddenly in that fourth round, he said, I don't want to know. And he just went down twice, for no reason. Crazy, man, crazy. They don't investigate this, brother, I can't lie.
Not investigate the whole card, to be honest. A lot of times like that. Yeah, it's annoying because fans have paid money, we've tuned in, and to see, I've counted 3 dives in that fight. I don't care what anyone said in that card. Yeah. 3
investigate
dives.
the whole card,
And it's just annoying. Like obviously, Liam Smith was annoyed. Fraser Clark was fuming with his opponent.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying. I think once again the woman outshining the men, outdoing the men because it's poor, it's embarrassing, but we move on.
We move on. It's just weird, man. Apparently, this guy was acting weird, all he didn't come back. I think he was late, or he didn't turn up to the pressers and stuff like that. Apparently, he'd been moving funny the entire sort of build up. So I don't know, man. But it's a shame because I said he looked like he was decent. He looked like he was giving Limit Smith some trouble and stuff. But yeah, his way. Smith moves on. He's looking for another title shot. I guess he's entitled to look for one, but he's not going to do. Don't see him winning it, but yeah, he's entitled to look for. He's entitled to look for another title shot, I guess, before he calls it a day. But yeah, strange ending to the card. Definitely the pick of the fights were obviously Azeez and also to Tasha Jonas' fight. But yeah. Cool. Let's move on to America. The return of Andy. Well, I say the return. He's back now. Andy Ruiz, King Kong Ortiz. This fight was interesting, Flowz. Because I'll be so real. for a large portion of that fight, I felt that Andy Ruiz got outboxed by Luis Ortiz. I'm not even joking.
Mm-hmm.
For a large portion of that fight, I thought Andy Ruiz got outboxed by Luis Ortiz. And you know what you're going to get with Andy Ruiz, right? Or you know you're going to get with Ortiz, first of all. Obviously, he's a good boxer from a technical standpoint, very good boxer. Old as hell, but tricky southpaw, got power. We questioned Ortiz's punch resistance based on how Charles Martin, who is a non-puncher, put him down twice in their last fight and just had him from jabs, as you said, Flowz. And I guess that punch resistance was on show, or lack of, because Ruiz was able to put this guy down 3 times during the fight. Twice in the second round, and then one more in the later round. I can't remember which round it was, but seventh. Yeah, thank you, 7th. Yeah. I think for me, I think Andy Ruiz can be super, super dangerous, Flowz, which we knew. It's like one of the worst kept secrets in the heavyweight division, how dangerous Andy Ruiz can be. Because that hand speed, Flowz, is when he's in full flow, it's very, very dangerous. Yeah. They're devastating hand speed. And there were times, obviously, at first, he was able to sort of have his way with Ortiz because he would get in close, use his blistering hand speed. Obviously, Ortiz is not going to be able to out speed him. So he's winning these exchanges. He's winning these exchanges based on his hand speed alone. And obviously, we know he hits hard. So that was sort of the earlier portions of the fight in where Ruiz was able to get in close, boom, 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 pop his head off the combinations and have Ortiz in trouble. And that's exactly what happened in the second round. Quick combination, top of the head, sort of top of the head, caught him, dropped him, then dropped him again quickly afterwards, and Ortiz was able to survive the round. Middle portions now, Ortiz has made adjustments, really good adjustments. He's making sure he's fighting behind the jab, trying to keep Andy Ruiz at range, and, just stay on the outside, basically, and trying to counter him, because Ortiz is a good counter puncher. And, bro, Ruiz looked lost. When we saw the same with AJ. When AJ decided to keep Andy Ruiz at range, he's lost. He doesn't really know how to. He struggles to sort of work his way inside. If you're a good boxer, competent boxer, and you keep Andy Ruiz at range, he's lost, man. He's really, really lost. And those middle portions especially, Ortiz was doing that and doing it really, really well. And I thought to myself, Ortiz is really outboxing this guy right now. Like, Andy Ruiz wasn't really throwing much. He wasn't really, letting his hands go. He was proper like struggling to sort of download the data and how to get past the Ortiz jab, etc., etc. And just when you think, Ortiz is really going on a roll, again in that 7th round, out of nowhere, and he was able to close the distance. Boom, boom, boom. Quick, fast, hard combination. Drops Ortiz again. And obviously it's like, wow, all that good work he's done in putting these rounds together has just been undone by that. And yeah, for the rest of the fight, it was kind of back and forth kind of thing. But Ruiz was able to sort of have his way, I guess, with the speed and combination edge. But yeah, he got the W. But I do feel like it was a close. Well, no, actually, all scorecards were really close. So it was a very close fight. But yeah, man, I think Andy Ruiz could have looked better. I thought he would look better than that. I'll be so honest. Even though it sounds harsh to me saying that, Flowz, because he dropped a guy 3 times. I just don't think he looked that good. I wasn't that impressed with him. Just because of how easily he was able to outbox by Ortiz, who is, don't get me wrong, a very good boxer, but an old boxer. He's not the same as he was a couple of years ago. So yeah, that's my take on the fight. But yeah, Andy Ruiz moves on to probably fight Deontay Wilder, innit? So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. For me, I'm actually surprised because we've seen Ruiz get outboxed. Chris Arreola was giving him out with the boxing. We've seen Joseph Parker, someone who boxes, who's known for his boxing. Keep him at range, keep him at bay, and beat him. Ruiz is poor defensively. Let's keep it a buck. Yeah, his footwork defensively is poor.
Hand speed is ridiculous, but the footwork is slow.
Yeah, footwork is poor. He gets caught. On the inside is where he thrives because man's got these short arms. So on the inside, it's true. On the inside, he can generate power and he has a shorter range to go with his, and he's got the hand speed as well. So on the inside is where you think, I'm gonna tear this chubby boy up, but he's the one who's piecing you up before you do it. We saw it with AJ. We've seen it again with Ruiz.
Yep.
On the inside, he's a killer. And yeah, I think that's where he takes advantage defensively. Look, let's not pretend we know these guys aren't the killers of the division. We know that. Ruiz beating AJ was not a fluke, but it wasn't meant to happen. He's good. He's not a bum. But
he's dangerous, as we always said when that fight was even made with AJ. But
but these men aren't the killers. That's why I thought this is a good fight, because these are two guys who are supposed killers, but they're not really.
Yeah,
and I think they're at the same level. Obviously, I've picked Ruiz to win.
Same, yeah.
But yeah, Ortiz always has the boxing pedigree, the boxing background. But yeah, with the lack of punch resistance and the lack of hand speed, I felt Ruiz would have got to him. Yeah, it was a good fight. But I don't think Ruiz is going to go on and make waves in the division.
He's not.
He's not.
It's interesting because parts of the fight was good when they both opened up, but there's also a large portion of the fight where, because Ortiz was boxing Ruiz and Ruiz wasn't really getting inside and struggling to sort of get round the jab, etc., he wasn't able to throw that much. And obviously Ortiz is going to keep jabbing away and just countering every now and again. So there were times when the crowd was even booing, kind of almost like, well, come on, where's the action, etc. But there were certain rounds where it exploded into action, which you sort of expect with those two, especially sort of towards the end. But now we expect, obviously, so the plan is obviously, if Wilder beats Helenius, which he should do, should be, as you said, a exciting knockout, disgusting knockout. It should be Wilder versus Ruiz, which is what I want to see, because I've said from day one I want to see something. And I think Andy Ruiz can trouble any heavyweight, in the sense that just if they're able to, or if you're a heavyweight that can't really box, which Wilder can't really box, we should see something exciting, because he might be able to get on the inside. And just obviously, we know on the inside, he's devastating. He really is devastating. You're not going to out-combination him. He's just too quick. And he hits hard, as we know. So it could be very, very interesting, that Wilder fight. I do think he'll give Wilder a bit of trouble, but on that showing, just because of how bad defensively Andy Ruiz is, it could be the inevitable, as we know with Wilder, get outboxed or get roughed up for a couple rounds, and then boom, land that big bomb. And we've seen Ruiz go down. So if Chris Ariel put him down, what do you think Deontay Wilder's going to do when he catches him? So should be an exciting fight still, though. So I'm looking forward to that one. But I don't know. I thought Ruiz would be able to handle Ortiz just a bit better. And the way he was getting out boxed, I was like, wow, you're going to let this old man do this to you? Boy.
I'll tell you what's funny is that these men are both saying they want title aspirations, but you're calling out Wilder. But we know what PBC about. We know what they want. That's why it's just funny when they get on Twitter talking or getting interviews and start talking, because they show their ass when it comes down to it. Okay, fight Wilder. That's a good fight.
We don't forget the Wilder fight they'll be made mandatory for WBC units. So
but then you don't call out eliminate a fight. You call out the champions, no? That's the end goal, surely. The champions.
True.
So fight each other. Good fight. Be interesting. Wilder's let's give Wilder credit. He fights at mid-range and he's good at keeping his distance in a sense. His distance
when he wants to, he can jab all right, Wilder.
Well, he sets up his best punch from the jab. When he wants to. But he's very good at keeping out of range and keeping out of danger. It's when he tries to engage and he engages poorly with no technique. That's when he starts getting pieced up.
Telegraph punches as well.
But when he wants to keep his distance and keep at bay, he's got the long arms. He could do that. His footwork isn't horrendous. He's this is an Olympian. He has
He's wiry.
basics.
He's an athlete. He's very athletic,
Yeah.
as we know. So very, very athletic. So yeah.
There's just certain boxing fundamentals he completely lacks. So I think he could beat Ruiz. I think once that right hand detonates, he could beat anyone. But does he still have that right hand?
No, I still think he's got the right hand. And at the same time, Ruiz can also catch Wilder if he's able to get in. And we know. So
I'm buzzing badly.
100%. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, Andrew Ruiz, as expected, moves on. But it was a very, very tough fight for him, and he's still got a lot of work to do, man. He's still got some work to do. But we'll see. Hopefully, that's the end of King Kong Ortiz. Actually, no, he's still got fight agent.
We need him. Stick around. Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
Oh man, cool. Cool. So also on the undercard of that Ruiz Ortiz fight, Isaac Cruz was in action. Let's quickly touch upon him because he got a highlight reel knockout against his opponent. I think his opponent is called Eduardo Ramirez. Flowz, don't you think that they're proper trying to push this Isaac Cruz brother, man? You think they're proper pushing it? I'm seeing.
Bro,
ever since I lost a tank.
The PBC formula of the Mexican fighter versus the African American are beaten formula. They've raised this guy out of nowhere. Granted, beautiful knockout, highlight reel knockout, like you say. But seeing the crowd's response to Isaac Cruz was crazy. They were loving him.
Mad popular, yeah.
Mad popular. And Tank was in the crowds. Obviously, after his win, he calls out Tank. He won the WBC interim title, I believe.
Okay.
So he's calling out Tank.
Yeah.
And then obviously the camera pans to Tank, and Tank is laughing and whatnot. And they were like, if that fight doesn't happen with Tank, he was like, okay, maybe Devin Haney.
You're choking me.
Like, Devin Haney's out there. I won the WBC interim, so we can. I was like, what?
Oh my gosh.
Like,
First of all, they better not make the Tank rematch. PBC, they better not do that. Don't give us that stepped on fight again.
Bro, I can't believe it's a discussion.
Oh God, and it's gonna happen as well.
It is.
I know PBC too well. It's gonna happen.
Yep.
Gosh.
What they're gonna do? What they might do is make Cruz v. Rolly or someone.
Yeah.
And then the winner runs back with Tank.
Yeah.
It's gonna keep
sake.
Being pass the pass.
PBC are so flipping nasty, so nasty, and the American public will eat it up. They eat it up.
This is the
pay-per-view, eating up, eat it, bro. It's nasty behavior. I even remember when he fought Tank and Oscar De La Hoya was tweeting and said, "Oh, I want to make Ryan Garcia versus Isaac Cruz." What's wrong? Why is this guy getting ratings like this? Cool, okay, he performed well against Tank. He's pressure fighting Mexican pitbull style, but come on, man, this guy. Why are you raising this guy up? Why?
They did a lot. They call it the new he's like Mike Tyson Cruz.
Yeah.
I'm like, you lot are funny. Like,
nah, they're taking
David Haney's right there. David Haney's there, the man of the division.
They're taking the piss.
You have to do all you can to avoid saying his name.
Yeah.
You have to be pressed to say. That division. Them 140, 135, all their man and move is so strange.
Yeah.
So
Weirdos,
strange.
Man. Weirdos. But let's talk about real fights, proper fights now, Flowz. Because this weekend, one of the most anticipated fights that we've talked about on this pod since 2 years ago is finally happening on the weekend. Savannah Marshall, Clarissa Shields is finally here. This is probably, I'm sorry, Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. This is the best women's boxing fight I've ever seen, ever. I haven't seen it yet, but this is the one. This is the one. Props to you lot, but this is the one. It's finally here, Flowz, after all the build-up, all the back and forths, the appearances at each other's fights, the tweets. Flowz is here, man. I'm buzzing. And what's even better is, we finna be there live on.
Yeah, we have to.
Live and direct, we're there. be at the O2 Arena to watch this, taking this historic fight. Oh man, where to start with this one, Flowz? Because obviously it's already smoky between both of these two, and this is real Neil. Not only is this a actually good, credible boxing fight. It's not more than credible. This is an elite level boxing fight between two elite level boxers.
Yeah.
But they generally have genuine disdain for each other. It's not a fake. It's no Chris Eubank Jr. No Conor Benting. This is real. This is real needle. This is real beef. That's been brewing since when Savannah beat her in the amateurs at 17. Yeah. 10 years ago? Yeah, 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Chris has been festering and harboring this beef since then. So yeah, man, it's just finally be great to get underway. Let's do what we normally do first. We've got to preview it. First of all, what have you made of the preamble? Obviously the gloves are off came out the other day. All the pressers, etc. I know you've taken all that stuff in, Flowz. What have you made of it so far? What are you telling about the body language between both fighters?
I've enjoyed it. We know Savannah likes to try and rattle Clarissa.
Doesn't take much.
But we've always said this about Clarissa. When Clarissa puts forward her points and her retorts, they're always sound arguments. Yeah, they're always sound. Her reasoning is always sound in terms of two-time Olympian, two-time world champion, two-time undisputed at two weight classes. She's achieved all this stuff. How are you not saying Savannah is better than her? When Savannah had the opportunity to do all of this stuff, she went to the Olympics. She went to the World Championships. Didn't do nothing. You lot are saying this is beef where we could have been getting it cracking a number of times, but she couldn't make it to that level. So I hear her in that sense. But at the same time, Savannah's the only person to beat you. Therefore, even though it shouldn't be that big, let's say Clarissa lost 2 or 3 people, then it wouldn't be that big. But because she lost to 1.
Yeah. But also the thing is, Flowz, Clarissa's the one that's made it bigger than what it should be.
Yeah.
By the fact that she bites every single time. Really and truly, she could have just aired all the people saying Savannah Marshall. But because she is who she is, and she always has to rebuttal everything and retort back to people who talk bad in her name, that's what's given legs to this fight. And that's actually what's given Savannah Marshall a bigger platform. So Carissa's the one that's hyped it up herself. She's made this bigger than what it should be. So, yeah.
And it's allowed us to see Savannah's personality a bit more.
Yes, she's come into it now, isn't she?
Yeah, we're seeing her go there. I enjoy the back and forth. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
If you compare Savannah when she first came through to now, she oozes a lot of confidence, Flowz. That quiet, not shy anymore so much. Just I know I'm the shit kind of thing. I ain't got to talk loud. You see, it comes from me, the confidence. So she's got that now. Before it was the shyness, but now she knows how to push Carissa's buttons. As I said, doesn't take much. And she's happy to write, she's happy to play that role, which is great.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. I am. I think when we previewed this before, we discussed when it sent out the O2.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I don't think the tickets are selling like that, which is disappointing.
Did we both come to the conclusion say it would?
I can't remember.
I
think we said it should. It should, as in it deserves to.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think we said it deserves to, but when I'm not sure. We're not sure if it would. It deserves to in terms of what it is for boxing.
Absolutely.
But because boxing's a casual sport.
Yeah.
The hardcore fans will like it. The casuals won't feed into it.
Do you think, Flowz, do you think that's been helped by the fact that it's an all-female undercard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Because we also said that it needs to be a really good undercard.
So, yeah.
And granted, I like the co-main event. I love that one.
We'll talk about that as well, don't we? We'll get into that. Yeah. Let's finish off. Yeah, so this preview in terms of Savannah and Clarissa. Obviously, all the preamble's done now. Obviously we've heard it all before in terms of why Clarissa. It's so funny because I remember way back in the day, Clarissa used to say that, she doesn't need to fight Savannah Marshall and she doesn't care for it, etc., that kind of stuff. But now she's openly saying that, it's gotten to me and I want to avenge my only loss. I've done everything. etc. Remember before when we spoke to her on Clubhouse Flow, she said that she doesn't need to fight Savannah Marshall. It doesn't. Remember we raised it, and she's like, I don't need to fight her. It's not. It doesn't impact my career or anything. But now she's openly saying, I've done everything. I need to avenge my only loss. So all that time, it has got to her. And she's a winner, isn't she? So she's used to winning, and she's a warrior mentality. So she's always going to want to. She's very competitive, as we know. So
she loves a challenge. She loves to achieve new heights. Loves to
elite mentality. If you ask me,
crazy. Where even in the sport boxing, rare to see what she has. Very rare to see.
Yeah.
She takes on all comers. Doesn't duck or dodge. Wants to do everything. Dabbled in MMA.
Yep.
No talking for the sake of talking about business. She means it. So good that this fight is happening, because a lot of male boxers would have just aired Savannah for time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she means it.
Pretend that they never heard of him. You know what I'm talking about too. Nah, shout out to both of these ladies, man. This is a monumental fight, and the fact that it's for all the marbles as well makes it even better. So this is like what middleweight this is. Boy, we got to talk about what we expect, how the fight to go down, Flowz, man, because stylistically these are two very different. Yeah, this is where it gets techie. This is where it's getting very techie, because we're gonna make some predictions too, Flowz. But stylistically they're very different, aren't they? In the sense that Clarissa, pressure, pitbull, very quick hands, stays on you. Very quick, nifty, and she's gonna bring a lot of pressure. While Savannah, taller, rangier, hits hard, can also box very, very well. Not the same hand speed as Clarissa, definitely a lot slower than Clarissa, but she's got a very good sense of timing. She knows how to pick a shot. She knows how to counter well. She even throws in a little shoulder roll here or there. You know, you can see the Fury education. You can see that in it. So that's what makes it so intriguing. Because I remember before Flowz, this is what's going back a year and a half ago, 2 years, when obviously we were entertaining these two, sort of predicting what would happen back then. Back then I remember I said I sided with Clarissa at the time, and you said you think Savannah might do it. That was a couple fights ago or whatever. So a lot of time has passed since then, and I'm looking at both of these fighters. This is a really tough one to call, honestly. It really is a tough one to call. But Flowz, I think I'm leaning towards Savannah still. I say that because even though Clarissa does have the edge in speed, Clarissa isn't known for her power. In fact, that's one of the sort of insults Savannah's been chucking at her, is that she's pillow-fisted. Savannah knocked out a chick that Clarissa went the full 10 rounds with, I believe. So, and to me, I think back then, I wasn't sure that Savannah's boxing ability will be able to measure up to Clarissa's. But seeing her in subs, obviously I've followed Savannah closely since she turned pro. Each fight you can see this woman is a very, very good boxer as well. She's not just power. Clarissa keeps painting on the fact that she's just a big slugger. Savannah can bloody box. She can box very, very well. I'm not going to say she's as good as a boxer as Clarissa. You can argue maybe she is. But the fact that she has a high-level boxing ability, just like Clarissa, and the power with that timing, I just think that she's going to time Clarissa and catch her with a big bomb. And this is the hardest hitting woman I've ever seen. So, boy, yeah. That's why I think I'm leaning towards Savannah, I feel like maybe early rounds, Clarissa's going to start fast, but Savannah's going to download that data, warm up to it, and start getting the timing right, etc. Again, it's 50-50 though, Flowz, because Clarissa's a dog. So I know that she's not going to go down easy. She's a dog, and she stays on you. So it makes it very interesting. But I think that's why I'm now leaning towards Savannah on this one. Well, before, a couple of years ago, I was thinking, I think Clarissa's going to get her. But this is a hard one to call for us. It's hard for me to say that.
Very hard. When you look at accomplishments and resumes, and maybe even when you look at that in particular, and then you look at skills as well, it sounds crazy to go against Clarissa Shields.
Yeah.
Given what it almost sounds crazy, and it's even crazier when you see the odds have Savannah the favorite.
Of course.
Which is crazy to me. And off that almost makes me feel like you lot are bugging.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna put some money on Clarissa in that
Mm.
sense. Just because I feel like the bookies haven't worked out the odds properly.
Yeah.
But you know my sentiments of Savannah. I've said for a long time she's too savvy, too savvy, and it's not just her power, it's not just her poise, but her ability to stay calm when she's in that storm. When people are trying to unload off her, like you say, she has to shoulder roll. She can move out of position. She can counter, pick shots.
Remember,
very good in that.
I think the Zambian chick, the Lita I can't remember the one who she dirty knockout, by the way.
Yeah,
you remember how that?
She tried it.
Yeah. I said, do you remember how that chick started and came
Yeah.
and rushed the hell out of Savannah in that first round, and she stayed cool as a cucumber, man. Literally ice cold throughout that. Whether that storm, they knocked her out.
Yeah, that's what she could do. She, like because she's not a volume puncher, but when people try to bring that volume, especially in 2-minute rounds where we know women's boxing, they tend to go at it.
Yeah,
she stays calm in those and picks beautiful shots. And we know what Clarissa's going to do. She's a volume puncher, hand speed, combinations, pressure. But we've also seen Clarissa buzzed, sloppy, dropped. We've seen her drop.
Yeah, it's true.
In the buzz, we've seen. And fair enough, she goes on to win those fights, but we've seen those weaknesses. Whereas in Savannah, we see poise, we see confidence, we see composure in those situations. And with the hand speed, I believe she will land on Clarissa.
Yep.
And
her timing is amazing.
Her timing's good. I believe she will land on Clarissa.
Yeah.
And who knows what could happen when she does. Like,
yeah.
But at the same time, I also see
how Clarissa can win.
The occasion.
Yeah.
I think Clarissa, for those 2-minute rounds, could just apply pressure, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
nick rounds, boom, 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 nick rounds, boom. And Savannah's almost relying on hurting Clarissa and having her buzzed and taken over from there. So I think we're going to see a balance of both.
This is going to be this fight's going to be superb, man. It's going to be superb.
Bro, I need to see it again after this. I need to see it multiple times. I'm my let me put a pause before my bum's right on this fence. But I'm gonna stick with two Sav.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But
cool.
I'm definitely better than Clarissa because there's value there.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. Yeah. I'll holler at you later.
It's even. It's evens.
Oh, it's evens. Okay. Yeah.
When you look at what they've accomplished, they've sparred before.
Yeah.
I don't think Savannah's ever got the better, well, apart from the amateur fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think she's shown enough to say that she should be the favorite.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But this is the pro ranks. She's the home fighter in this case.
Yeah.
I do think this will come down not just the boxing ability. I think it will come down to how they handle their emotions and how they handle the occasion. I think that's where the key is, and we can't predict that as such.
Yeah.
Because Clarissa might be like, I want to get her out in the first. I want to knock her out.
Carissa's going to be charged up. I know you. Yeah. She's going to be so charged up.
And if she's over aroused, that could be a downfall.
Yeah.
And same time, Savannah might fold under the pressure on those nights. This is the biggest night of her career. We've seen her supposedly fold in the Olympics when it was the London World Championships where she's been favourite. So I think emotions and the occasion will be the deciding factor here, not so much skill.
Yeah. No, this fight is going to be superb, man. I can't wait for this one.
Yeah.
In fact, I hope they have a rematch clause baked in because they're going to need to run it back. They're going to need to. I'm sorry. I need to see. We said we want at least minimum a trilogy here between these. They're not old. Obviously, Carissa's 27, so she's got back to time. Savannah's not that old either. This is a rivalry for the ages, man. So yeah, I'm trying to see at least 2 fights between these two ladies. So yeah. Man, I can't wait. I'm buzzing for it. But yeah, I think Savannah 2 Sav might bring it home.
Might even see something silly like a draw, you know.
That sets up the rematch, doesn't it? So yeah,
it could be controversial. Yeah, it's going to be a brilliant fight.
Yeah.
I'll say Sav, but I see Clarissa as well.
Well, for the longest, I was Carissa on this one, but I've just last 2 fights might have swung it Savannah's way for me. if I'm looking at both of them, but it is a 50. This is a 50-50. Like there's just no favorite. We got to pick a winner because we got to pick a winner, but it's a 50-50, bro.
Buddy, let's go one apiece. I'll go Clarissa, buddy.
Oh, so we've swapped around. That's too funny.
This is poor for me. Sorry, listeners. I'm in an R, but that's how close this fight is.
Bro, this is
too sad though.
This might be fight of the year, man.
Boom, buzzer down. I can see it.
I can see it, man. Because she's a good boxer as well, damn good boxer, and yeah, as you said, we've seen Clarissa buzzed, and if she gets caught, I just don't see.
Yeah, too sad for me.
It's going to be so hard for Clarissa to meet. Obviously, she's capable of just bombing her out for the entire 2 minutes, but Sav isn't going to allow that. I just don't see her allowing that to happen. Let herself get bombed out for 2 minutes, especially as Clarissa will be open as she's throwing these shots as well. So
yeah.
So that's why I can just see it, man. I'm just using my boxing logic and whatever. That's how I can see it, man. So
yeah,
but it's
sadly,
we'll see.
We're on the same page now because that crowd is going to be hostile.
Yeah, of course.
Actually, it will.
No,
Newcastle will travel.
Yeah, of course it'll be hostile.
Mad hostile.
Yeah, no, I can't wait for it. It's gonna be a great occasion. And obviously, you mentioned it earlier. Let's talk about it now. Because the rest of the card isn't the co-main event is superb as well. It's
one of the most frying beefs.
If we're talking beefs, we talk about that, but this is also another frying beef. Mikaela Mayer, she's putting 2 of her belts on the line. I'm trying to think, what weight class are they? This is hang on. Let me pre what weight class it is. It is super featherweight. Okay, cool.
Okay.
So Mikaela Mayer, she's got 2 of the belts, and Alicia Baumgardner has got 1 of the belts. These 2 have been beefing since how long now? Since they've been beefing? FoTY, how long have they been beefing?
A good year, but it's daily, daily back and forth.
Daily back and forth on Twitter. Videos at each other, sending shots at each other. It's great that Boxer was able to get this on the undercard as well as a chief co-main support. And it's a unification fight between 2 very good boxers as well. So I'm really looking forward to this one as well. That's what I say. These 2 fights, they've treated us, because the rest of the card, I won't lie, is meaty. But these 2, superb. What are your thoughts on Mayer and Baumgardner? Because we talked about Baumgardner a few times in this pod, innit? We haven't really talked about Mayer much, but Berghult, we've been very impressed with, I think, as you know, as boxing fans, in it. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on this one, Flowz?
I think it's a brilliant fight. I think it hasn't got the shine it should have, maybe because they're both US based. I feel like they should have had the gloves are off. I feel robbed.
Yeah,
we haven't had that.
Yeah, it's true.
We haven't. There was meant to be a press conference that they didn't turn up to, or something. There wasn't even a video press conference. So the build-up has been, maybe because Baumgardner is really signed to the zone and she's pulling that whole not showing out for another promoter thing. But I guess fight week she'll be around, so we'll get something fight week. But I think the build-up could have been a lot more prevalent. Great fight. I think Mikaela should be the favorite given her pedigree. She was on the Olympic team. She's the unified champion.
Yeah.
Baumgardner kind of upset the apple cart, had to take the tough road to get where she is.
Yeah.
But Baumgardner is a fighter.
We were very impressed against Harper, weren't we? Very, very impressed. The way she dismantled Harper.
Colds too. But every time I see Mikaela, she looks good. I can't lie. She looks good, really good. Aggressive, can box, can take up gears. Yeah, gonna be a brilliant one. What do you make of it?
Yeah, man. Similar sentiments, bro. It's live needle, and they're both very good fighters. So I'm sold from that. So from a boxing perspective, I already know I'm going to see fireworks between both of these ladies. I do agree with you as well. I think Maya will be the favorites. I think favorite in terms of not only just pedigree, but just you look at dimensions as well. And she's got all the favorable tools. She's got considerable height and reach difference over Baumgardner. I think she's naturally bigger as well. So that could play into it. But yeah, I think Baumgardner was put on the map with that Harper performance. Didn't really knew of her beforehand, but I didn't expect that type of performance from her. You know, superb performance, absolutely superb performance, and stopped Harper in her tracks, literally. So yeah, that makes it very interesting to me. How impressed were you with Baumgardner's last performance against? She didn't stop her opponent, but it was UD. I don't know. I don't know if you remember seeing it.
Yeah, I think I did. I can't remember it, but I remember it happening.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to comment.
I think it was a comfortable W for her.
Yeah.
She just outboxed her opponent from start to finish, kind of thing. But I'll be honest, I'm trying to think when the last time I saw Maya out. She's top rank. Maya's top rank, isn't she?
Yeah, I remember. Maybe it was the last fight where she beat up her opponent. I felt she could have got the stoppage. I don't think she did. Or maybe she did, but yeah, it was a beating up.
Yeah,
I think she stepped on the gas to try and stop her, and I was like, she's going to stop her, but I don't think she actually did.
Yeah.
But what makes it beautiful is that these beefs are really frying, so they're going to get in the ring, and I don't think there's going to be too many niceties.
No,
they're both camps in both fights really want these wins, so it's going to be a beautiful affair.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, look, boxing fans, I implore you, man, just tune into this card on Saturday. Be on Sky Sports. Just if you have to tune in from I guess the Baumgardner fight onwards. And yeah, I generally don't think you'll be disappointed. I think both of these fights can be cracking, especially the main event, which is historic. And it's just gonna be just a great night. Great night's TV. So yeah, man, I'm thoroughly looking forward to it. Obviously, like I said, we're going to be there, taking it in live and direct, and definitely running back the fights the next day. So as soon as I get back, as soon as they upload the highlights, we're there again, watching it again. Yeah, I can't see these two fights being stinkers. Touch wood.
Bro, if you want to get down to it, man. I'm sure. I think tickets are still available, and it's about 30.
Yeah.
So if you want a guaranteed entertaining night of boxing, guaranteed, not doing anything on Saturday, get down to it. Get to buck the strap boys as well.
Yeah. If you see us, say hi. Friendly.
Bang for your buck.
Oh yeah. But Flowz, I can't wait, man. I can't wait for Saturday. I'm buzzing for it. Yeah. I still got to finish off the gloves are off. I haven't finished it yet between obviously the two main event fighters. Saving that for like a nice little just before I take it in. But yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm gonna definitely look forward to reviewing this next week as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
But yeah, let's call it a day there, man. I've got all the excitement off my chest now. Once again, yeah, this has been episode 106 of the SZN Podcast. I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And please, guys, keep supporting, keep liking, keep sharing. Peace.
You take a strap. I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.